What am I even? Let's fucking go. Hell yeah. There we go. Alrighty then. What are we doing? Very, very good, everyone. Very good. Okie dokie. Back at it again at the Krispy Kreme. Well, maybe we could use the Pomo focus. We did this. That's pretty sick. But why is that player fucked up? Perfect. Damn it. What is that? Who is that? Who's number 3? I see number 1. Do you see number 3? I don't see number 3. You're smoking crack over there. QL6WH. Now we have 4 and 2. What the fuck? Who is that? Who is 4? 4 is like... We have 1, 2, 3. And 4. And 4. I think I know what's going on here. It's not good. I don't like any of that. I don't like it. Alright, when we join, there's nobody here. When we join here, we've got immediately have an issue. We have number 2 in the tree. And number 2 is created because... Why? Because I'm adding 1 who's already there. And apparently I'm adding 2. That doesn't make any fucking sense. So... Here's the other thing. We could use a multiplayer spawner. Because now we are... I don't like it. I'll tell you that. But why don't I like it? My pure list includes 1, maybe? Where it includes ourselves. Yeah, that's it. Baby, why motherfucking why? Why motherfucking why? That is not what I would expect. Exactly. This is important. I really don't want to do any cat jam. I am on a treadmill. We're gonna walk 6 miles today while we program, because that's what we do here. So I need a setter. Okay. How am I going to structure this? I always forget how to structure a setter. Did you figure out what's in the third tutorial? I did not. Not even close. Because I have something called a job. It sucks. I have to do it. So I'm here having I'm having fun doing this. So admitting of a problem is the first step, I've heard. I do have a problem. I have a job. I'm gonna show you a meme. Uh, let's get that meme up. I can't find it. Here it is. I found it. I'm just gonna. Maybe I should like pin this as a. Okay, we're gonna meme a little. Give me 1 moment to meme. Do I have a meme? Where do we put this? I don't even know. Can we even read that? That's my little sidekick. I don't know if I want to show that all the time, but whatever. Oh. Company secrets. Too small to read. Looks like Tony Soprano is too small. Okay, here we go. We'll make it bigger. It is Tony Soprano. I can't make it that big. That's too big. We'll cut it down. It's a full screen. Okay. How many Godot peers can we stuff into a single project? That is our current show. Our current I spent the full day wondering why my inputs were controlling my every player, but eventually I realized because I was using controller inputs overriding authority. Do you have a workaround? Interesting. My general workaround is to make sure that I have a clear understanding of authority and who should be sending inputs. The best thing you can do is the set multiplayer authority according to the peer ID, just like in all my videos. And then you can choose to do on the ready function, is not multiplayer authority, set process false, set physics false, return. Below this line, all of this is only on the authority. So these are like mouse input and stuff like that. Here's the other thing you can do. Right here, unhandled input, or in your process function, if is not multiplayer authority, return. Here's some input right here, this menu. Return. Early return, baby. You can't control me. You're not my authority. That's how I do it. There's a couple of different ways to do it. I could even give you a demonstration of this. Fuck. The fuck just happened to me? I think I didn't enable any peers. There we go. I see how I'm changing my menu up here in the top left when I hit tab. It says leave game up here. If I go over here and I join, now I can tab everybody. Okay, it didn't work. Probably because there's still a check. I want to make it so, oh, sets physics process. Yeah, this process here should be running, and then open menu. We get kind of curious. Feels like this could just crash. Now I'm controlling everybody. But it's still only visible on my machine here. Oh my gosh. We are in chaos here. We have all these, we have so many menus on top of our menus. Both of them are shooting balls. We are going crazy with our inputs now. Garbage. Look at all that garbage. It's horrible. Now I'm moving this player when I'm over here, and I'm moving that player, and I'm over there, and I'm in the bad zone. I'm shooting with everybody at the same time because I'm clicking. How about that? Oh my god, all my inputs are going to every player. Set process false. Below this line, authority only. Boop. Order has been restored to the land. There you go. Discovered your tutorials last week. Really appreciate you giving out information for free. It's been super useful. That's what I'm here for. Every day. Well, not every day, but around 7 p.m. most nights. And on YouTube, Discord, wherever you can find me. Leave a comment on one of your things. I check my comments. Here to help. I love doing it. And I've made all the mistakes. I tell you, I've made that mistake. I've made that mistake all the time. Tough. Stuff's not easy, but I've been doing it for almost 2 years now. And then I just focus on multiplayer. What's the best setup for PvP? Woo! I think it's going to depend on your genre, because a PvP like fighting game is going to be a little different than like a PvP first person shooter, or a PvP like melee game for collisions. Oh, that's going to be tough. I think the way that I use client authority is going to work for a lot of situations, but when you get into collisions and being really reliant on physics, it's closer to a fighting game. So one of my favorite games, and might be one of your favorite games, it's called Mordhau. I love this game. You know? This is full server authoritative, and they've got to have anti-cheat in it and stuff, so this kind of game is pretty hard to make. Yeah, usually I just run hit funks with check for authority. Yeah, I want to learn how to, yeah, it's tough. Yeah, hi PC head. Hi. Yo, quick question. I'm starting my game dev journey to choose between Unity and Godot. I'm also multiplayer assess. I want to make friend slap games. Well, I think you're kind of in the right place, and you've got a good decision ahead of you in terms of Unity or Godot. And I think it's more like what you think is more fun. I find Godot really lightweight, fast, really easy to use, really easy to learn. So if you're brand new and you say you're just starting your game dev, do not go with Unity. Like, it's so much extra, and you're just gonna be in pain. And Godot is just so easy to use. Like, you just drop in a mesh. There's so many great tutorials, stuff like that I do, other people, and the networking is pretty easy on Godot. So for friend slap, and like, it will take you about a year. You're gonna make small games first. Yeah, so from Unity to Roblox to Godot 4, that makes sense too. But I think you can skip straight to Godot, and you're gonna have a good time. But be aware, it will take you about a year to like really ramp up to making a friend slap game. And I think one way that I leveled up is I used itch.io game jams. So I made some like really simple first a 2D game, and then 3D games, and then I think doing like quick game jams help me complete things. Yeah, I would mess with Godot. I don't know. I think you shouldn't use Unity for the case that you gave me, because you're new to game dev, because of what you want to make. You're just going to have a lot more fun using Godot. It's just the future. It's the game engine of the future, and Unity was going to be a great choice 10 years ago. Yeah, we have people from YouTube, people from Twitch, and yeah, I still think, like, make your game, but just keep struggling and keep breaking through, because your game dev is not easy. It's just like when I first started, it was hard. And then on my website, I kind of have like an article, kind of just explains like basically If you say, if you're oddly dedicated and willing to be beat up by a computer, you can make a game. So anyone who wants to make a game must be absolutely determined to do so. So you just have to jump through the hoops, but the hoops are a lot easier. And this is how I feel. So this documents some of my early Godot experience, and then there's also some multiplayer tips on here. Sadly, I have a problem where sometimes players won't properly spawn in lobby. I tested with a friend. And you tested the itch.io link here, because if you use my sample project, it's going to be more reliable than whatever your code will do, because I don't change this sample project. Found you through the P2P showcase. It's working fine for me so far. It's working for you. Awesome. Yeah, unfortunately, I went through a whole ass college degree for game dev, graduated without being able to make anything. Yeah, I went into web dev. Yeah, so I went into web dev for career safety. See document number 1. Worst fears, being employed. Second worst fear, being unemployed. So I'm with you. I am a web dev by trade. I just finished 9 hours of web dev. And then I got on here. Yes. Yeah, front-end dev working Angular and TypeScript. Yeah, that's my background too. I've worked with Angular all the way back to 1.3. So JavaScript, and before we even had TypeScript, I'm a ancient web dev dinosaur. Now I mostly work TypeScript, Rust, Ember, web components, lit. You know, we were connected and all spawning level before because it's fine class early. Yeah. So one thing, yeah, be careful, PC head. One thing I recommend is that if you're connecting with Tube, make sure you use my network scripts really carefully. Like, so these right here, add player, remove player for host. This is different than join, which is going to use add player, remove player, and then connected to server. Connected to server only called on joiners, only called on clients. So this is add ourselves, and that function looks a little different. It says, I could even call this add self. That's literally all it does. Add, let's go add player self. All right, I hope that's clear. So you got, that's probably might be your issue, is that when they connect to server, they do then add themselves. Yeah, Angular v15? Jesus, what the fuck is ionic / capacitor? If you hit me with that in an interview, I would not be able to answer you. So, nice job there. Capacitor, I love it. They just keep inventing new shit. Don't worry, I got this. Good. Okay. Yeah. You can rewatch this part, and then I think I'm going to push this branch up too. So what we're going to be doing today, it's a framework that allows us to take our web dev and compile it to Android. Yeah. Ionic, I think I knew that. What was the other one? Oh God, now my brain is just so... There's a competitor to that, and that's kind of sucked. Is it Cordova? Yeah, that was the general library, but there was another, the general library is, all of them are built on Cordova, right? But there was a React to iOS. It was React Native, and it had this like companion app, Expo app, That's what it was. And this literally sucked balls. It works. This is not what I would do today, but I'm sure it's going to be fine. Yeah, good sleep, you know. Got burned out, take a break, get some sleep. That's a great idea. I would do that too, but I am on a treadmill. I'm going to get my 6 miles in. Then I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep like a baby. Fuck is this? Oh, baby. Bug discovered, baby. Yes, I love it. I love it when I fix a bug. I'm gonna snore. Me, 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 me. Me, 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 me. We need a Mimi cat. I wonder if I have Sleepy. Do I have a command? I do. There you go. There you are, PC head. Right there. Me, 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 me. Yeah, I don't do C sharp. I think GD script is a fantastic language. It really is really good. I love it. I love GD script. I think it's so clean and efficient and well typed and just it does everything. It works so well inside the client. It's so pretty. I thought it would be shitty because it's like Python, but it's way better than Python. It's a great lang. No, it's a capital. It's Sleepy. Yeah, definitely when it comes to Godot, C sharp is for those who already know a lot of C sharp, but it's basically calling GD script under the hood. It's a C sharp to GD script to compile, so it's like an extra step. And you can get some performance gains here and there if you're doing a ton of computation. For example, procedural stuff is going to be a little faster, but GD script is actually quite fast and better in Godot. So, yeah, there you go. That's for me when I get sleepy, but we're jazzed right now. We're on the treadmill. Yeah, I don't recommend. I recommend GD script. I love it. And yeah, I mean, the greatest part, I mean, the integration with um the IDE here is bar none just so amazing. So I can just like talk about this enet peer I'm hovering over, and I can command click or right click there, and then I see what the hell is enet multiplayer peer. Well, docs right there. Every method, create client, create mesh, create server, get peer, add mesh peer, host perfectly. And then I can listen to all the signals. I can track up to peer, a peer, and then I can just look at all my favorite signals. Where are they? They gotta be in here. A multiplayer peer. I need a peer. I need a peer. Oh, so that would be here. And then multiplayer peer. So good. I'm just in the docs, and then if I don't want to use the IDE, I can open online docs right there. And the docs are just incredible as well. Every one of these, like let's say if I go WebSockets, Godot docs, I was reading this the other day. We have just a general helpful using WebSockets. Yeah, we're not going to talk about create mesh. It's complicated. Don't use it. I've used it. I made a mistake. But look at this. We just say it explains everything from 2011 using WebSockets. And you can see on the side, we've got these excellent guides. And it'll give you a full example with tons of documentation. You can just take this server and you can run this server. And then you can jump over to their demo projects. They have official demo products. And here's some networking demos. I use these. WebRTC, baby. And it has all, I mean, there's just so much nicety in here. And like, you've got lambdas, like you've got multiplayer peer, and then I'm just doing auto connect, peer connected, connect, func, and then I can print anything. And then I can take this argument because I know this is a list of peers, and I know that's going to be an array of int. So I've typed that. Super. I didn't use it, so it's already warning me that I didn't use it. So I can underscore that. Oh, so good. Goes away, but we're going to use it. So let's call it list again. And then we've got just our map and filter. We've got filter. We could filter this. We could list map. And the trick here on these lambdas is always return. Make sure you return in line here. Okay. So if you need to do something. Good night, good night. Make Pong. I think Pong is fine to start with. My first game, it looked like this. Oh my God, does this run? I don't think this runs. There's no way. It's also enormous for a 2D game. My first game was a 2D game that has like a sword and just walks around. It doesn't load. I think it will load eventually. We'll just leave it alone though. But yeah, the lang is great. And we know that list, since that is an array of things, we can map and we can go new func here. Okay, don't do this. This is too functional for anyone. Item, and then I know this item has, this would be int here. All the type checking. How can I get completion there? Maybe I can just use list at size or something. You know, list has all the size. Yeah, it has the autocomplete there. We goofing. But the greatest part about the language is that mostly what you do with the language is just call pre-made stuff that's already existing on button. So button leave. This is not Godot script. This is using the API. See, they have great API. The recommendations where I should get started. I would watch like a tutorial on like the type of game you want to make. Okay, it did load. Oh my God. Here we go. Hell yeah. Huh, huh. This was a like kind of, I got a hammer. This was so hard to code. I got like a fatigue bar down there. I guess we got to turn off job now. Oh, look at that axe. That sucks. It needs a buff. There's a spear. Now a fireball. Looks like he's taking a dump real quick. So the way that I built this game was with a YouTuber called Heartbeast. I think there's going to be some small like differences from his. So he says, did this get updated? I feel like this may just be the best. Yeah, this is fucking lit. So let's see what he makes. Does he show it? I think this might be the one I link you to. Look at this little thing. I loved this tutorial. And he updated it for 4.4. How did he do this? Look, you learn collision mapping, you learn enemies attacking you. You're going to need that for friend swap. And the reason why I suggest you start with 2D is because the 2D nodes are all the fucking same. So when you go to 3D, it's just so simple because you can go, here is a mesh 2D. And it just goes in there. It has a shape on the right, like this. But then you just need to delete that and make a mesh 3D. It's all the same. Character body 2D has a 2D or a 3D. So thought I would never make a 3D game. I thought I was fucked because I didn't know anything about 3D. But when I made this 2D game, I found out that it wasn't that scary to go to 3D. Oh god, I linked you to the part 7, but you can figure it out. Highly recommend. The easier ones are brackies. Everyone starts with brackies. So if you're a true, you probably, I think you can go ahead and jump to the Heart Beast. Brackies does have some nice ones for like lighting. This 3D game one is pretty good. I think I did that one. But you could probably skip his 2D beginner. You're probably a little more advanced. That's right. Yeah, he switched from Unity to Godot, and it was a big deal. People were like, "Whoa," because he was like 5 years ago. Goodbye. And he's like, you can watch this one if you know brackies. So, hello again. Yeah, I didn't know who he was until that video because I kind of joined up on game dev kind of late. Yeah, that's right. He's got a Discord too that's more active now, obviously. Okay, the key is not to fuck up your demo project when you're typing random garbage in here, so. Okay, it's pretty clean diff. I think we did no damage. That's good. I should have one of those like top mounted keyboard things that show you my keystrokes. Have a good night. Out of here. Yeah, have a good one. Good luck with your journey. You can do it. You've got this. All right, let's get these case function hooked up. Sorry about that. Why are you walking in place? How do I answer that? Since I'm in VR. No, I'm just kidding. Exercise, obviously, and I think it helps my mental a little bit too. Tell me you're not programming at the same time. What do you mean? Of course I am. I'm not programming right now because I'm doing a little bit of UI. I mean, we do all of our programming while we're walking. I wonder if we should remove our other menu. I think we shall. I think we shall. Mm. How are you doing it? I have a fancy keyboard and a fancy mouse, and I type really fast, and I'm practiced at it. I don't think it's unusual. I think it's pretty popular. I have a standing desk. But my knee hurts right now, so actually I'm gonna take a short break and get my little controller. Okay, controller's not working. So short. I am tall. I'm lowering the desk. Pretty easy. Okay. So now we're in a chair, like a normal person. We've been walking for a while, so I was pretty tired. I don't know, but I find it actually weird. I'm using the PC a lot. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You should try it out because a lot of people are very sedentary, right? Can I say um what is the interface of add item here? It says string int. Is this optional? Optional -1. The index will be used in the new items or pen. Yeah, okay. Label. So we do, I think we can do keys this, and that'll give us a drop down. And then it says base object for option in network.peers. Let's just do it this way because now we can just say, is this the keys? We're just gonna do it. There we go. That's cool. Good night. Have a good night. Sleep well. Sleep is very important to being productive programmer. Okay, so we're gonna add Steam Peer today. That's our goal. So I'll be right back for that. Velocity. Most of programming is just kind of dead time thinking and just you know. Mmm. Can I not can I type this? This says peers. This is not a peer. This is a how do you say one of these? What am I missing here? There. But what I don't understand is why these aren't erroring. This is just a true. This is just true. Is that fine? This feels like it should be typed. So match is just cool with these being Boolean? Godot match type force. How to match? I think it's all right. I wonder if I turn on strong typing in this, it would. I don't know. That seems weird to me. If I try to put this as false, that should be a bug. Yeah, there we go. Makes sense to me. Woo, baby. Okay, okay. So this is a setter. This needs to be a setter. So we need to give a setter here. So the way we make a setter, I always forget. Is it like this? No, it's equal. How do you do a setter? It's like this. There we go. Property with inline code. Like this. Set. God, I can't fucking forget how to do this. I have to look it up. Godot setter. Set equal. Oh my god. It was so close. Oh no. What's up, Maclentigua? Hello, welcome, welcome. It's me. We have to clean all this garbage up. If we... Because we'll have to remove... We have add child here. Node peer new here. Ugh, it sucks. Don't look at this code. This code sucks. God damn it. Gosh. Hey, I've been meaning to ask, how can you use eNet multiplayer instead of WebRTC when using WebRTC for peer-to-peer? How come you use you instead of WebR? So I don't use eNet multiplayer peer because when we do part 2, so in part 2 we add Tube, and Tube has a secret it has a secret WebRTC multiplayer peer. I just don't remove the other one. So this one still was like hanging around, but we also have our Tube. And if you click on Tube, this actually has a multiplayer peer, WebRTC multiplayer peer right here inside of it. Just slightly hidden. And it does all the same things. Create server, and then it actually uses your multiplayer API, assigns your multiplayer peer here. Yeah, no, I do think that was not well explained. I do mention that it's WebRTC, but what's interesting now is that we're actually doing something kind of wild where we're going to do your eNet local. We're going to do eNet over relay with node tunnel. We're going to do Tube client. We're going to do Steam peer. And then we're going to do WebSockets peer. And then, because we're crazy, we're going to be able to select it from the menu here. Any one you want. That's a little wild, but that's what we're doing right now. And I don't know why I'm doing it. Wait. I want the value of not that. I want on ready. How do I export this? Yeah. No problem. I'm glad you're enjoying them. You know, it means a lot that people enjoy the tutorials and are having fun with them. So let us export a value, current peer as a string. We're not actually sure how to do this, but we definitely need the word var. Network dot peers, and then I can export enum, I believe. There's like a, yeah, there it is, baby. Export enum. Is that right? How does this thing work? I've never seen this shit. There it is. Hell yeah. Very cool, very cool. So what does this do? Export a property as an enum list of options. If the enum is an int, the value is stored. Sure. That's cool. So you just do this. If you want to use it. Yeah, this is fine. So I don't need to do. So you can do it both ways, but in this case, it's var current peer and then network dot peers. All right. So now when we save that, we can select our peer there. So I think that's what we want. Can we do null? Hell yeah. Can I do -1? I'm gonna say, can I add on this peer to with like a none? Is that what we want? I have a great idea. I mean, I could do something where we hide everything until you select a peer, right? Does this work on Android? Yes. Works on my mobile browser. Works on my phone in a mobile browser, but it would also work on an Android export as well. That I believe you could do. You could do a add right here. I don't do Android. That seems scary. Bye. But you can test it on your phone if you go to my itch.io link and bring it up in your browser and bring it up on your phone. You can try this sample project here. This should work. There's a lot of sections. I wonder that we can make this a little more. So what are our true decision? Our decision point here is between create and join. She called me a baby boo. What the fuck are you talking about? It feels like the most kind of bot YouTube comment I've gotten so far. What the fuck are you on about? I'm trying to think. I don't know if I care about the UI right now. But let's say you're selected as -1. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Da, da, da. But you can't hear it. It is, you know, it is on none. So what we're gonna do, we'll say if peer option. We're just not gonna add the items like that. Okay, can't select none. Ooh, no. I'm on one. There we go. But we also want the first one to be selected as -1. So why is that not true? So when I go to select peer, it says -1. Items. We add the items. We might need the none. Is it just... This one should populate none? Yeah. Okay. Value changed. What do you say? Selected. That's not... That's a... What is this? I need a signal. Give me a signal. Item selected. There we go. Connect. Callable. On peer selected. We just go network dot. We just do a function here. Func. Item is going to be the... We want the value. Can we do that? And we'll say network dot current or current peer, but we'll say selected peer. We can say set peer. And we say network dot... Can we just do that? Index. We want index here. That's fine. We can prefix that. Okay, that seems happy. So what we're gonna do now is control. No, we need a VBox. We need a second VBox. Yo, what's up, mate? All peers. We're going to get that by holding command or control. Pull that in. But now we have a problem where we need to just respond to this better. On peer selected, on peer selected. Let's do that. Peer selected. We know that this takes item and then item index. Just put that here. But now we have to say all peers. Let us show set peer index. Okay. They didn't show because it doesn't like getting a int probably. Expected 2 arguments but called with 1? Huh? Okay, it's called with 1. But what is item here? Maybe it's item index. You don't think it would get the... I think it's going to... Am I doing full-time or just a hobby? Absolutely just a hobby. But we are going to allow people to join via eNet, Node Tunnel, Tube, Steam, or WebSockets in this stupid tutorial. I mean, amazing tutorial. I mean, I will show you Exhibit 1 for my job. Here you go. There you go. It's right there. If you can read it, let me know if you can't read it. Evening. Got a Little waving. I love eNet. It's super simple and just gets the job done. Well, what if I told you you could have eNet anywhere in the world with no servers? It does get the job done. It's super simple. I like eNet too, but I don't like dedicated servers because they cost me $3 to $5 per month, which I don't want to pay. And they can be kind of CPU bound or, yeah, I found processing was a little expensive if you need to scale, especially like. But you can do eNet peer-to-peer using Relay. If it's a turn-based game, if it's a turn-based game, now you're talking pennies. So all you got to do is send some inputs. And for that, I will now present you with the final option in our list, WebSockets. Exactly. WebSockets are TCP, and they work anywhere. Just do a little bit of baby polling. You can even do this with some real time. It's just going to need some interpolation of position, and you can interpolate the visuals. But there's a guy who's got a product we might integrate over in the Godot engine networking. It's pretty clever. But he shared this little demo project. This is pretty cool. What it does is free TCP WebSockets, and you just join. So now I'm in. And then just join. Yeah. And so now watch the player over there. They are really kind of like laggy because TCP is just kind of not fit for this, but that ain't bad. And you can interpolate the visuals. Wait, is that WebSockets? How is that a TCP thing with a lobby implemented? Yeah. So this is a server, but it's not a dedicated server. It's not an eNet. This is a WebSockets peer. So WebSockets, and I was actually just bringing this up earlier, but it's a old ass protocol on TCP, and it enables browsers to just do stable bidirectional, and it doesn't even need to be in browser. I use WebSockets on native Mac, Windows, but you get a WebSocket peer, it's just like an eNet peer. Right below Tony Soprano there. And it's so simple. It's the same thing. You have a server, connect in WebSockets, and then you can build your WebSocket server in GDScript too and host this. It's much better for turn-based. I'm lurking because I'm procrastinating learning. I need to learn about syncing physics up in a 4-player multiplayer game. So just relaxing. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's a big task. You got this. You can do it. Sounds like you got a little downtime to just hang, and WebSockets are not for physics-based games, as you saw with the but you can kind of fake it. Like RuneScape, I'm sure, runs on WebSockets or something like that. It's a poll-based, like a tick-based system. So when you get in here and you implement the client, so this is a server, right? And so here we are. We are processing while these are connected. Each one, we're going to send some packets down. And this could be input for your turn-based game. And if you are a client, where's the client? Here it is. It's just, we repeatedly, we poll at a pretty decent clip. And if there are any packets to consume, we just get it. And what's cool about WebSockets is that multiplayer synchronizer is just going to work, right? So on my player, I have a super simple multiplayer synchronizer with just 3 always, 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 always use always. I don't know, maybe we should do this one. Should we do it? It's awesome you teach this stuff mostly using indie devs are scared of making a multiplayer games. Yeah, no, I think there are legitimate yeah, it's like a taboo. That's a good point. Um yeah, I mean multiplayer is not something you can just like instantly learn or instantly do, and I think that's why I like to teach it, because it took me 2 years to like learn this stuff too. You know, it's not like I overnight made all the mistakes in the book. In fact, I made a Reddit post like multiplayer think making multiplayer game is out of reach. Um I made all the mistakes so you don't have to, you know. So I think this is on my website too, but yeah, you can check that out. And I got a lot of responses that were like, yeah, this is not always the right fit, and I tried to answer all the questions about it, and but yeah, it is hard, but it's not impossible. That's what I would say. It's also very fun because games with friends are good games. And like part of why I do this is the social aspect and having people join these games and play them. And think they have to pay for a super expensive server. Yeah, yeah. And then you're still not guaranteed to get it right, and like it's complicated, but I made all this stuff in my tutorials because I I was tired of paying $3 a month to AWS, and it's not an expensive server. Like I ran this thing on an ARM processor. I think it's a T2 Nano. It's like literally yeah, T4G Nano, the smallest ARM bit architecture. Because Godot supports ARM, and like the processing, like we're talking maybe $2.50 a month if I slept it appropriately. But I left it on, and I racked up a bill of like, yeah, $3 per month, $5, and then I was like, I want a game that I don't have to keep spinning up a server to test and play. So all my previous multiplayer games, and then I got into game jams, and in game jams you just don't have a choice. You have to have WebRTC, because you know this sort of system works in the browser. Nah, it's not. It's just the export setting, but it's just a cheaper instance EC2. This is what you have to do for dedicated server, right? So a lot of people do this, and there's nothing wrong with that. But here's the thing. Enet relay. Node tunnel. Node tunnel written in Rust. Peer-to-peer without dedicated server or port forwarding. High-level multiplayer API. Server relays. Establishes a relay connection and just routes traffic. Super cheap. So bulletproof way to connect behind NAT, which you want. Latency will be higher. You don't care. You're turn-based. Change nothing in your game besides adding this and going to register. You just have to get an app ID. And you're done. No servers. Join a room. You do have to like do a little lobby room. You can make lobbies. You can make lobbies on here. I've got a lobby system as well, if you want another lobby system. Rust based? No. It's just written. The back end is written for you. The Godot add-on is a zip here because I don't think it's in the asset store yet. Yeah, so check this out. All right, on the left, we've got some add-ons. We've got Tube, which is for web browser, our WebRTC, and then we have Node Tunnel, and Node Tunnel is GDScript, obviously. And so all you have to do is just enable it and register on their site for a free app ID. And then the way I did it is in my network script. And this is all on my YouTubes and stuff, like some of the stuff, but this is the new stuff. This node peer, node tunnel address, node tunnel ID. You could jack this ID if you feel like being lazy, not registering. You can just, so it's fine. And then we just connect. We make a new room. We connect to Relay. We set up our host, add our peer, and then when we enter the room, we copy the room ID. And so I can select Node Tunnel from this, and it might actually just work. Node Tunnel ready. Node Tunnel ready. Create a session. He didn't add his own player. Stupid. But I did get a host here, so let's see. Yeah, it's a little buggy, but it definitely worked a minute ago. We have a question. If I need networking for real-time physics with a lot of active physics objects, should we be looking at ENET or would something Node Tunnel be preferred? They're the same. So they're the same. It's just a matter of, do you want a dedicated server or do you want to do Relay? Because in dedicated server, you're going to be hosting an actual Godot executable on your machine, on an EC2 or something like I showed in here. So this would be create instance, do a VPC, and then you upload your dist file of your whole ass game, and then you run it on your Linux box and connect to an IP, static IP address. Yeah. So this is my example. Relay is identical, except you're connecting to traffic. Peer-to-peer. Yeah, so those are on Steam, and they do a combination. I don't know. I can't speak for exactly what Lethal Company or Repo do, but they probably do Steam Peer. And we're going to add Steam Peer as well to this project. We're going to have 6 fucking peers in one project. We're going to have the most peers. The best peers. But yeah, I don't do Steam because it's annoying to have 2 Steam. First of all, you got to pay $100 to register, which is bullshit if I'm making shit in my spare time. That's why I invented all of this other stuff for free. Hello. And let me just close this down real quick. I'll show you my physics-based game in case you're curious. So I was in the early stages of prototyping a I guess you could call it a friend slop type game, right? And the pitch was that you have these mushroom guys and they're in a tunnel and they have to basically deliver their payload across the tunnel, and you have to regrow your... So I'm connecting to a WebSocket server and I'm joining the lobby, and then you can also put in a username here and connect. And then I'm going to join this lobby, and I don't like white, I'll pick blue. And then I'm going to start game. So see how this works. Oh no, everybody cannot be seen. I was doing a demo and I hid my character scene. Um, that's pretty funny. Yeah, I was showing people that this is the bones, the physics objects. You can see he has a collision shape, physics, and then if I go in here and I turn him back on, he's a plush. So now we should all be visible. It's funny. Okay, so now we can play a little bit. We've got these mushrooms we can pick up, and we can toss the mushroom. We have like a little physics object there. Yeah, we're running kind of slow here. I'm gonna quit this. Quit Discord. Yeah, that definitely helps. Quit Discord. So here we are. And the cool thing about this is that I have implemented the repo mechanic where you can ragdoll, and then this guy can go and pick up his friend. Oh no, I busted his ass all the way there. So I can go pick him up. Now I have him, and he's ragdolled still, and I can jump and put him in a cart. So then I can also do a throw. So you see I have the throw line, and so he's going to throw. And then I can unragdoll, and then I've got this cart I can pull around. And so there's lots of physics objects here, and you can put stuff in the cart. And it disappears. And yeah, it's kind of the idea. It's looking nice. Yeah, it's all right. So what's the difference between using node tunnel, and node, I don't know what, so WebRT tube and node tunnel? Yeah, I gotta make an explainer on all these different things, but let me refer you to my favorite thing in the world, which is the Godot documentation, because when you build a high level or any type of Godot multiplayer thing, you're going to pick a peer. You are going to pick one of the many ways to make a peer. So when we have our network script, this project does two different ones. It's very clear because this is an older project. It has it has peer enet and peer WebRTC. Let us look at all the possible peers you can have. If you open this in the online docs and you look at multiplayer peer, we have enet multiplayer peer, peer extension, offline multiplayer peer, which I have used, WebRTC multiplayer peer, which is the web browser one that enables real time. This is true peer-to-peer. That one is very spicy, takes a little extra work. It's in all my videos. That's Tube. This one is WebSocket multiplayer peer. This is that one I showed you with polling. That is TCP. And so if you click on WebSockets, they actually will say for WebSocket, yeah, there's a couple ways to use it, but they recommend you use WebRTC. Same thing. Those are different, very different. And then finally, enet. Enet is not browser compatible. That's the big difference. And enet would be used by every project that only targets native. If you need you could use these on native too, right? So it's like a Venn diagram where you have web, and then all these are available on Mac, and I also do web games too, so I use these more. But I think enet is if you're doing dedicated server or relay through node tunnel. And node tunnel, when I looked that up, it's basically a Godot plugin that wraps enet, because it says it right here. It says, very easy to use. It integrates with the high-level multiplayer API. Converting your enet multiplayer peer setup is super simple. Yeah, there's really three. There's really, truly three peers that we talked about. Yeah. Because you know this. You mentioned TCP. You know the opposite of TCP is UDP. UDP traffic, unreliable. Enet only uses UDP. You cannot make a browser do UDP traffic. Yep. But if you have a web RTC multiplayer peer, it will do UDP. It will do UDP. Just in a true peer-to-peer connection. So I misspoke slightly. I'm just saying, like, yeah, you can't do a direct. You have to use WebRTC if you want to UDP traffic over web. And then, yeah, so you're good to do whatever you want. You can use whatever you want. Yeah. Where's the wiki for WebRTC? It says UDP. Does it? Am I misspoken? Am I wrong? I don't want to be misspoken here, so someone fucking tell me what I'm. It's actually, it looks like it's its own protocol. That makes sense. Oh, WebTorrent uses. Okay, that's cool. BitTorrent. That's interesting. It's mostly used for streaming video. So Google Meet, video conferencing software. Yeah. It's AI says it's using. Looks good. I need to hop out for the night. Have to catch you later. Yeah, thanks for the insight. Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of experience with these physics-based multiplayer things. You can kind of see that I can't build an actual game, but I can teach you how to build one. Because I've done authority swapping, I've done full server authoritative, networked rollback, so if you have a true like physics sim you need, you're gonna need to ask some more questions. What the fuck was I doing? Okay, quit this project. That's right. Get that project out of there. Yeah. It's pretty good. Yeah, Google supports it. But it requires a little bit of setup, but there is a tutorial on my channel. The FriendSwap tutorial uses WebRTC because it's so easy. But I'm going to be adding, I think this node tunnel one is going to be pretty cool because people can use the eNet multiplayer peer. This is eNet. The one I'm least looking forward to is the Steam peer. I don't think I need to. Do I need to add this? I don't need to add all this. These comments are not necessary. Yeah. We could add EOS, which is Epic Online Service, right? I could like name them like this, where it's very clear what they do. Ship on consoles, itch, Epic, Steam. Yeah, that sounds good. I think you got a good plan. And you know, the trick is to make it work. And then the cool thing is, as you can see here, you can actually swap all this stuff out. Like, once you have a game that synchronizes, all the players add, all the stuff works, which is saying a lot. That's a lot of work. Um, at that point, you don't have to rely on one connection method. You can add one. It's just a matter of like this, you know, and then you pull this one to the top, or because I put this in an auto load in my globals, this network file, and then I can just kind of access it from anywhere in my menu. And so you just go like what we're doing is set peer. Obviously, mine is going a little silly, and you can just comment things out when you ship. You could even use server, or you can use OS feature tags. OS dot feature has feature. Let's say you want to ship a WebSocket version one, you could just ready up that. Else, so then when you say print, I'm on WebSockets, you can debug with 3 instances, and you can say WebSockets for one of them in this feature tag section, and this will be detected as OS feature tag, has feature WebSockets. And so we should see one print of I'm on WebSocket. There it is, just one of them down there in the bottom. And that's cool. And then you could test them all with WebSockets. So now you're just on a different connection method. I do this a lot. Now we have 3 of them ready to go on WebSockets. And then you say, you know what? I want to ship it. I'm going to target itch, but I'm going to allow people to play in the web browser. Then you just do this. WebSockets. It's in the list. Doesn't even affect your other stuff. I'll be right back. Alrighty. My favorite thing is to fuck up my project while giving a demo. Okay. I see what's up with you. I see what's up with you. You're garbage. I see what you're doing. Right here. What am I doing? Genius. He's a genius. No! Play the clip. Fuck. Did I walk into that or what? Yeah. Okay. Mm. What are we gonna do, Andrew? I feel like this shouldn't be hard. But it is. Because Node Tunnel doesn't fire connected to server correctly. But everybody else does. So only on hosts. Hi, I appreciating your videos. They have helped me a lot. I am glad that helped you. I am Node Tunnel's clogged? Why would you think it's clogged? It's working. My signals aren't good. This will work. But the host didn't add itself. So we need a special case either way. That's okay. That's a good suggestion. But I know what's wrong here is that node tunnel is just a little different. Yeah, buddy. Bill Gates. Maybe. Maybe. I don't like to special case things. That's the thing. Let's do it like this. Perfect. Flawless. Boom. Join. It's flawless. All right, play the genius clip. If this third player connects, we're definitely in the genius camp. 7BJQ. 7BJQK. Boom. Hell yeah. Everybody's here. No special casing. Yes! I don't need the oh no part. Cover that part up. Just cover the oh no, because I got it right. But yeah, so the quick explainer here is that we have generic, really good signals for host and join. We add player, remove player, and then for joining, we add player, remove player, and then a special one for connected to server, because this only applies to joiners. This only applies to joining as a client. So the reason we do this is because we as ourselves are not a peer. We're not. So we would basically add players. If we're the third player to come in, we would add 1 and 2. That would leave us in a pinch, because we have 1, 2 here, but we need 1, 2, 3. So we can't actually, if you do get peers here, multiplayer peer. Oh, there it is, get peers. So if you actually print get peers here, guess who's not there when you join? You. Do you experience any important latency compared with 2 web? I mean, in some ways, my latency with WebRTC is going to be better, especially with maybe 3 or 4 participants, like a friend slop game, because it's true peer-to-peer. It's true over the wire. It is via your ISP. Like, it is a direct peer. Direct peer-to-peer communication, like, it skips over servers, and it creates a tunnel. I think it can have some drawbacks for, it's not perfect, but yeah, everything you do. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for stopping by and giving a nice comment. That's appreciated. So appreciate you. But yeah, so if we print, let's do the simplest case where we take eNet multiplayer peer. And we select just eNet, create. This is the most basic one. We just hit join because it's local. And you can see that right there, that is get peers. It's empty. And so when I go here, that's empty again. We're not in there. We just don't see ourselves as a peer. So what if we go multiplayer, get peers, And I'm going to print s, comma, debug peers. Okay. And then we're going to say we only want to do this if is multiplayer authority. So we only care about this in that case. Okay. So here we go. Let's see what happens. Enet, create. Ain't no peers. I'm the only guy here as the host. Enet, join. 1. Guess who number 1 is? That guy right there. 1. Exactly as we expect. Now, third guy comes in. What do we expect? I'll give you a hint because I can look at his number right there. Join. Still 1. I would expect 2. I would expect him and him. That's interesting. I wonder if there's like a chance here. What if we go get tree? What if we put our thing in the shoot function? Kind of curious. I would expect to see multiple peers in there. We're going to find this out now so I don't get people wrong information. So here I am. I'm in the shoot function. We're going to just do the same test on Enet because Enet's the simplest. No, we're just joining on local. And we just see that 1 peer in there. That's interesting. There we go. So now it's just a little bit of a delay thing. So now we have a full list. And then if I go back to any of these, we should see anyone who's not us. Okay. Okay. We're not. Our peers are that one and that one. So if we don't do get connected to server, we've got a short list. We have 3 players, but only 2 peers, baby. It's a problem. You gotta have all your peers in there. So the way we get around that is that we have a condition here where host adds themselves a little differently. What if we what if we put this out? Do we still make ourselves? And that is because Enet has it right here. I think we should fix this. This is a great walkthrough. Thanks for being patient here. This happened because 3 players, 3 peers connected, 2 peer. I think it's just a way that the peers list, multiplayer. Yeah, that's kind of how you described it is correct. Yeah, I think you're thinking of it correctly. So we see this thing that says get peers. Let's click on it. It says returns the peers of all connected peers in this multiplayer peer. It's just not inclusive, right? This get unique ID, that's just us. So then we have these are the only signals in the whole world that we can use, okay? And I try to use them. Connected to server, connection failed, peer connected, peer disconnected, server disconnected. That's it. That's all we got. Says the ID is the peer of the new peer. Clients get notified when the other peer is connected to the same server. Upon connecting to the server, a client also receives the signal for the server 1. So it always knows to add 1, yeah. But then it does catch up and it adds the rest of them. Yeah. But here's the problem. We have no signal to say that the server is all ready to go, right? Because this says only emitted on clients. connected to server, and we do use that. We use that really nicely to add ourselves. But what the fuck do we do about connecting? The thing about making a server is it can't fail. You cannot fail to make yourself a server. That is why I think we take this. Let me put it here. Yeah, I mean, we're testing on LAN. Every time we boot this up, I'm selecting eNet from this list and just hitting no IP because we're hard coded right now. So you're not wrong. It's good to test on LAN. This one here. Look at how simple these are getting if this works. I would love it if this actually created a guy. I think it will. Yeah, that will. We have to go through all our peers and make sure this works. All right, next peer. eNet relay. This one might fail with this. Yeah, there we go. Little baby problem there. Tested our error state. Because basically little baby, let's give a 0.5 second timeout. See if that makes it a little happier. I don't like it. It's messy, but yeah, it works. Okay. But the problem is we can't rely on that. It's not a good signal. It's a kind of a arbitrary, like, oops. So in this case, we have two choices. We can either do it here for everything, or we can let's test tube. Let's test tube. I'm gonna get rid of that. We might be able to solve for relay later. Let's test tube. Okay, we like it. Yep, we like it. Uh-oh. Are we good? We're good? We like it? Yeah, I think we're good. We only see 3 players here, right? Yeah. Okay, perfect. We're gonna make this fucking rock solid. Here's the thing. What do we do to make this work super right? We know that handle room ready. Why on earth is this say 56? Does it need to be handle room joined? Do we have I think that might be the problem. Let's say handle room connected, room received. Doesn't ever happen. Baby, what the fuck? Let's go over to node tunnel. Didn't know you could use the display server. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you have to because it's so important to test quickly. We have an issue, baby. Let's see. Doesn't work on Arch. Could not find a client. Never times out. Wrong room ID sent to client. That's a join code, baby. Is this universal menu going to be part of your part 3 of your co-op series? Yeah, let's talk about that. I think it's kind of weird. I don't think it will be, but I do have a co-op what do I say, script. So if I talk about the script, there's a lot of stuff we want to cover in part 3. Part 3. I definitely think we are going to do a little bit of that with our... We're going to make WebRTC a little more resilient. We're going to add turn. Add my server. Add turn. I have a in this thing. That's how I got started here doing this, to make it just better. And then I think yeah. I think I'm going to say just yes. Maybe I should have this universal menu. But the big thing was going to be, I think, projectiles and player models. So we're going to go mesh to motion. And there's a lot of there's some great... I'm going to capture a quick... Let's go for run. Here's run. I don't like that one. I think jog. Yeah, that's better. So I think we're going to add this in multiplayer this. Jog? Allow? Let's see if it worked. Got the fucking thing in there. Okay, I gotta redo it. It's fine. It's pretty funny though. Pre-roll 1, 2, 3. Okay. So yeah, we were gonna make like a little tower defense, a co-op tower defense, I think. But like a wave shooter, but yeah, this is kind of what we're thinking. I'm not really sure. You know, I'm listening to people see what they want to do. I do have a job. And there's my friend, Tony Soprano. He'll tell you how I feel about my job. So, oh yeah, I'm kind of in the way of the image here. But this is a wave shooter with a bow and arrow. I think we're going to do that because we need to do projectiles. And then I don't really know. I don't really know. If you think I'm probably gonna finish up this universal menu thing and publish it as like a separate. It's not part 3 because there's no way I want people to type all this fucking shit out. Like it just feels like a lot. But I do think people have asked questions like, "Are you gonna have Steam?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's just another peer. Why not?" Godot is your escape for the horrors of today's software engineer. Yeah. Yeah. I have so much fun doing game dev. Like, I'm glad it's my hobby, but yeah. Also, I studied your demos videos, able to get a better understanding of server authority. Excellent, good, yes. So, if you want to do server authority, I think you definitely can. That's another thing that's on my like long-term to-do list is cover like a full server authoritative setup. It's not that hard, and other people have some videos on it too. You can look up a friendly YouTuber, Battery Acid Dev. He has more. He has some. He does a Steam one. I wonder if this is still up to date, but I think he has a NetFox one. That would be server authoritative. And NetFox is a great library for that. But I've done NetFox in the past. It's just a little complicated. It's not great for my games. The other thing I was thinking about is melee combat. But I think this is a pretty good list. These like 5 things for part 3. And if I can do like if I can just distribute like a little plugin or something. There's no way everyone wants 5 fucking peers in their project. They want to pick one, but we'll see. No job. No, that's my worst fear. Epic online service, that would be fun too. 9:45. What are we doing? It's good to have multiple peers. They run web exports. Enet is out of the table. Yes, you are 100% accurate. Well done. That would be when you pick WebRTC. And that's great for like game jams and having something you can easily distribute to friends when you're testing. The other thing about a web is that you've got to use compatibility mode. You know, it's not as powerful in terms of graphics, which is a downside. I've kind of gotten over it because I did like to make some pretty things. Like I made this multiplayer Souls-like. See if it even opens. But it was in the forward plus renderer. Hope one day to get to work with an artist who can do cool graphics. So this is one that I added an offline multiplayer peer to, but this is all on eNet, and it was my final dedicated server project. Well, not final, but yeah, I mean, for now. Oh, it doesn't look as good on Mac as it did on PC. Oh, it looks all right with the God rays. Ha, world environment is basically disabled. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it disabled. You can still do some stuff. You can do some shaders. But God, enemy AI is so hard, right? It's kind of buggy. Got some errors. And a crash. Good times. The other thing I might want to do is a little bit of visual punch up, because even though it's in the browser and like, I think we could at least like get a better skybox and a few better materials. Because we're gonna, if we want like this kind of thing, yeah. Okay. Let's see. All right, let's file that bug report. Be right back. No. I have been programming for 12 hours straight. Fuck. We're starting to slow down. We're getting old. Ah. What's good, Naturally Nemo? How is it going? We are creating a system by which you can have a universal menu and select any peer you want. You want an ENET, you want an ENET relay, you want to play with Steam, you want none. I gotta remove the menu when this is none. How about WebRTC? Right now we're testing ENET relay, but we'll do ENET localhost for now, just real quick. You know, we're printing our peers list down there. We'll get this last guy in here real quick. Boom. You can have any peer you want. What does this say? 58. So if I go relay, create, and then I go relay, join, 59, yeah. Oh, what are we doing, Andrew? What are we doing? I was working on an add-on that gave similar functionality to a universal peer selector. So you don't want to check it out? Yeah, yeah. Mine is a little interesting because I'm not using the default peers. I'm using services like Tube and Node Tunnel peer. But yeah, if you think it's helpful, I'll be happy to take a look and I could adopt some of my stuff. I don't know that this project is that far off from completion. I might be pretty close. There's only 1 or 2 small things I need, and then I have to do all of Steam. Ugh, I don't want to do Steam. Epic Online. So I'm going to do Epic maybe before I do. No, I got to do Steam. The project is not complete without the Steam peer. I don't want to do that. But yeah, we'll get there. Maybe another day or 2. I'll make a video and publish it all. It's on a branch. If you want this work, it's on the branch in part 2. So it's there. I'm guessing this is simple deploying a lot of your videos saved, a backpackable system that makes different multiplayer. It's mostly all in global, yeah. So yeah, so the way we have it situated is, since you've seen some of my videos, we set this all up manually, line by line. It's a good learning exercise. You can watch it at 2 times speed if you're already experienced, you know, just jam that 2x button and watch it really fast. But in our network, which is the file we've been working on tonight, we just do these setup things, and then you can ignore this one. But for the WebRTC client, we create a tube context, which lives in our network folder. And when we look at this network folder, it's really simple. Like, I think global just has like a shoot ball. That's nothing. Like, but network is our big file. And then this tube context allows us to set these tracker URLs, and we just set that. So that's step 1, set the tube context. And then we do this thing called get tree root add child call deferred tube client. So we never mount anything in our node tree until we actually start up. And then we just handle errors, and yeah, that's it. Like little it's all based on signals. And so that means it can be global. So it's this thing is pretty drag and drop. You do need to follow the video to get, like, you have to go to like the asset library and get tube. And you have to go to the asset library and get WebRTC. This one 4.1. But that's it. I think the project, mine would almost work as an add-on since it's global. And the way you use it is just reference network. So in our universal menu, I think we've got 3 things here. 1, 2, 3. Host. On join. This is the session ID, like the string that we need in the input. And then the rest of it is just, yeah, that's nothing. Like, it's literally host or join. That's the whole interface to this network script. No multiplayer spawner for players. And then the player has just this add authority thing, so the set authority over the node name. So when we play, let's do tube. Let's, I'm pretty sure tube will work, so we'll do 2 tubes. And I will create a session. Okay, great. And then I will paste that in there and join. Boom, we're in. Okay, so now we have this peer, and you can see my peer list printing. When you look over in the remote tree, we've instantiated our node for tube. We've just dropped one in there, this client, and that is pretty cool because that's a global that's added something to the root tree. And so I do this thing where we can add in 2 different ways. We can add get tree root add child call deferred. That's like a global level. Look at this. See? But in the main, we do get tree for add player current scene, which is just the main scene. We just add these named players based on their peer ID, and that peer ID is this number 11. You can see him highlighted there. So and then I could probably pick his mesh. Yeah, so just do some remote inspection there. But it's very standalone, very modular. That's why I'm able to do this universal menu. Pretty underrated stream. Thanks for hammering on this topic. I believe there's a way to interact with Steam lobby sockets with system without C++. Yes. Guess what? We're going to have to find out. It's called FAFO. FAFO. Right here, live. Fuck around and find out. Fuck around, find out. FAFO. Because I am dreading this. I'm going to be real. I know it's not going to be that bad, but they moved to Iceberg or Codeberg. That's fine. So we go over here. I am dreading this because their docs are notorious, right? So they have a pre-compiled or a plugin. Well, obviously, we're going to go with the easiest case. And I also need, I guess I have a Steam Deck, so I have 2 Steam-enabled devices. No, I have to make a Steam account. I'm going to have to do Docker or VMware. What the fuck am I going to need to do? I'm going to need to do virtualization so that I can test lobbies. I'm going to need to learn all this. And they have this multiplayer peer, and it just drives me nuts. It drives me fucking nuts that their multiplayer peer tutorial, which is the one I want, obviously, is nothing. Like, this is nothing. I'm not going to go fucking watch a video. As much as I love Michael Maka, I don't know who that is. I want docs. And this is an article. Yeah, it's going to show me how to do it, right? But where are the fucking docs? This can't be that hard, right? But then there's an example. Later this year, you can see the tutorial by checking up a free-to-play game, Skillet. I'm going to have to go look at their game, Skillet, which is fucking sick. This is awesome. This is probably the coolest thing I've clicked today. An arena battler where everything is flammable and bouncy. I love it. I'm on the Skillet train now. But that just feels a little strange, right? Like that I have to go to a open source game or something like to figure out how it works. Like there's still no documentation. What am I? Can you guys? I don't care about where it is. It can be wherever it is. It can be Codeberg. It can be whatever. But please just give me a fucking... I'm used to the Godot documentation. Like I've been using Godot documentation today where if I want to learn how to do WebSockets, they have an article called Using WebSocket, and it shows me a client example where we just start polling. It's all documented. Give me the fucking code. Give me the 5 steps in the code. Like, so I'm sure it's not as bad as I'm making it out of it. If I gotta pay $100 fucking to Steam, I know I can use Space Wars code or whatever. Yeah. Red flag, zero docs. Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be fine. So Lushimi says I learned a lot from the Cogito Arcana project, a fork of the ooh baby ha spicy. Okay, so now you're talking my language because um I was like looking at Cogito and I was like, how much work would this be for me to make this multiplayer? How much? And I gave it, I'll tell you, more than one thought, okay? Okay. There isn't one. But someone is telling me there is actually this one. Let's check it out. So this one is adding cooperative multiplayer Kagito looking Kagito Steam. Ooh, baby. Go in here. Docs, where did they say Kagito Steam P2P? Where's that? We're gonna find it. So what I will do is star this and check it out because yours truly, I was about to do this. There's not a whole lot here, is there? How much is there? There's only a few commits past Phaser Nights. Come on. This ain't it. Oh, I gotta go to a branch. All right, here we go, baby. This is it. Alrighty, baby. Here we go. That's what they were saying, is check out the... Alright, this is looking like it. That's not too bad, though. That's not too bad. I bet I could do this. I bet I could fucking do this. I'm glad someone else is doing it, so I don't have to do it, but... So what we can do is go back here, and now we're on this README. They definitely have written something here, right? Okay, go. Okay, so it's basically, yeah, so basically this branch, but they still haven't written docs, but that's okay. This is cool. Ever considered how web phishing approached all this? Interesting, interesting. So it might be time to bring back my web phishing demo. I had web phishing on top of my stream at one point. So I had at one point a web phishing demo that everyone could play on top of my stream. So hang out in my space. I had some other games where you could jump around as a goblin, as like a... I had Arrow Game. Everyone could join and play Arrow Game. So might be time to bring that back. But I would love to do something like web phishing. I can do web phishing. I just haven't had the... Yeah. If I was full time on this, you know, if I was full time. Yeah, so yeah, I mean they probably just had P2P and loaded up the lobbies. It's not that hard. I mean, I say it's not that hard. I'm saying look, it's all just another peer. That's what this project is going to be. Every fucking peer in one project. Once you have the basics rock solid and you have a perfect understanding of eNet multiplayer peer and you've used every command and you've used every signal and you just love multiplayer peer and you like peer disconnected, peer connected,
Um, yeah, this is all the signals we have. Every signal connected to server, only emitted on clients. Connection failed, peer connected, peer disconnected. We do everything off of this. And all the other peers are just variations of this. And multiplayer spawner is based on this. But we are managing it just ever so manually to control slightly who joins when and why. But yeah, I think it's not hard once you have the basics down. Once you have this nice network script. Oh no. Okay. Unreal Engine dev here. UE, you're pretty much married to LAN and external online subsystem Steam or Epic. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, if you want to deep dive C++. Yeah, I mean, in some ways that could be a benefit for people who would like to do it that way. It's fine, it's different. But you're at their mercy. And we do have Epic on the list here of peers. And there is a EOS. I've heard a rumored EOS Godot plugin. Epic Online Godot plugin. There it is. It's in the asset library. Sick. Hell yeah. It's easy as fuck. I'm sure this is not as easy as I think. Is it a peer though? Is this AI? Fuck. The fuck is this? This is an advertisement in my plugin? We're having a day here for docs. It's cool. Very cool. These are better docs for sure, yeah. And they have their asset right there in the so I'm not gonna complain. All right, all this is in my context window now. It's all good. We're set. Just kidding. There it is. Hell yeah. Who's the best? Obviously, we can't use it yet, but boom. We like that. All the signals will be the same. Predictable signals. They implement the Godot multiplayer API. That's what we're looking for, is right there, ESOG. Did I post this yet? I did. Okay. Just filing a bug report. The cool thing about Godot is like you can work at any level. You can move between levels. You can use some of this, some of that, whatever you feel comfortable. You can use the high level stuff. But you can go down to like a packet peer, and we can craft our own little baby packets. We can have a nice time putting a packet on a packed byte array. Oh, I love me a packed byte array. I'll just eat it. I will turn that array. What's my Discord? Yeah, I'll share that real quick. Let's see. Invite to server. Sure. This is a Discord I've started to find people in the East Coast area for Godot, but it might end up being more of a Godot multiplayer server based on the growth of the channel. That's what everyone asks about anyway. So I might end up rebranding. I don't know. Yeah. TBD. We're still in the early stages here. And we're going to work on our part 3 tutorial as well. We're going to publish this universal packet peer. We should do our own packet peer too. That's the next level. Oh, we can do a region. Watch this. Region here and it. And then we can end region. And then we just close all this. Just get rid of it. I'm pretty sure you can do that. How do you? Oh, does it say I have to say end region? There we go. Now I got an end region, and I just collapse it. Boop. That simple. I should update my Discord like name and stuff. I should just swap. I should swap if I can do that. Mm-hmm. Oh no, I had made a bad link. So part of the problem is I'll get you in a sec. You can't have open community until you have enough members, and so it's kind of a double-edged thing, isn't it? Goofy. This might break some Discord place. Um all right, let me go. I have streamer mode disabled on my Discord. Huh, I don't see you as waiting. Oh, I'm not in the right spot here. Servers. Yeah, here we go. No, there's nobody. Oh, there is. Yay, I found you. Okay, approve. Approve. Sorry about that. I'll make a better a better process eventually. Yay. Okay. Well done. Great stuff. Okay, we are out of the what are we even fucking doing? It's a great question. We're getting back to a baseline and we're gonna fix this last bug and then we're gonna be we are gonna be in business. This is great because now that I have canceled my actual game that I was making, I can spend all my time fucking around with network settings. Fabulous. That's exactly what I want to do. I'm actually having a lot more fun making content and streaming and um, having a lot more fun with doing weird little like, internet experiments and helping people out than I was making my other game. You know, I'm not ruling out going back to actual making of a game, but I'd much rather make tutorials right now and things like this. It's not pretty. I think we could do some stuff about that. But we just have to figure out what to do about eNet relay. Let's do this. I'm going to do a debug statement here. Print s debug, comma, say multiplayer. We just have to do a thing where if we don't have a multiplayer unique ID, okay, unique ID, we just have to fall back to 1. I think that's really going to help us out a lot. Because I think that this, when this player comes in, I think their ID is like 0 or something, or -1. All right, so watch this. Create 0. Yeah, there it is. And we could also try a process frame. So I'm pretty sure you can await process frame. Get process frame. How do you do this? It's is it get tree or get, what is it? Get tree dot process frame. I know it's in here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Get tree dot process frame, and then we do it. Will that just make this player work? Almost. You can see his face. Now, every other peer has no problem. They're just like, yeah, I'm happy. But he's stuck in this horrific, hellish state of not being able to control his own body. So we could either fall back, which I don't love. Oh, I can control. No, that's just because I am authority 1. I am not setting my name as 1. I did come in as name 1. What the fuck? Because of the process frame. Yeah, 3 process frames is all it took. take a quick break in what you call hammock-driven development, which means we're going to not program. We're going to just kind of chill and think about our lives and our mistakes. All right, friends. Oh boy. We're not going to find a solution to this today. But once we unlock that, oh, interesting. His lobby got delisted. What the fuck? That was cool. We need an inspector too to tell us when we're not. We add player 1. I don't like this case. I don't like it at all. Is there any way around that right there? Besides 3 process frames. Or doing an if statement on the case of if enum. Should we do it here? I think we should do it here. What if we do peers dot is this better? I think this is better. I'd rather not fuck with the player. I think this is much better. Undo this. Player isn't just needs to be real generic. And so now we'll check the current peer. Selected peer, current peer, peer selected. I don't know what we should say. We need to refine that slightly. But now when I do enet create, I'm still fucked. God damn it. Yeah, this is where when we're late at night, we have a 3 strikes policy. If I make 3 stupid mistakes, you go to bed. What's weird is he's totally fine. And this worked earlier. Why did this work before? Not now. WebRTC, create. It's happy. WebRTC, create. Uh-oh, it's not happy. Can't do it this way. But we should be able to do it with relay. Interesting. Okay, so that's not the issue. I am so curious because I know that this room connected. Is it room ready or do we have anything else? Connector relay, update room, join room, host room. We just have these signals. Rooms received. That's not what we want. I did this. I did this right. Because when I did it up here, and we had the host function like that, we connected this early. That's the difference. And we say not, so we don't double. Let's say relay, we're kind of in the weeds. What the fuck? Who's that? We're still double. And that's because we don't know. What the fuck is that? Yeah, I know. We get into these situations, and this is why I go through this pain, so that y'all don't have to. So this should be nobody. If anyone's there, I'd be surprised. There's nobody. Perfect. So exactly what we want. Now, let's do add player self. What the fuck? Who's 2? Who's 2? Hold up. Why are there 2 boys? There's definitely 2 people here. That's myself and some other evil being. Who did this to us? Who split us? Oh God, why? Wait a second. Herobrine, yeah. Old Minecraft meme. Herobrine. Yeah, it feels like that. It feels a little bit like that. We reverted this. This is good. And then let us go to the diff. I'm gonna get diff player. If there's anything here, this looks like white space. I think that's fine. It's like literally just that character. No problem with the player. That's good to eliminate the possibility. What about the possibility that I'm not smart? It's definitely a case. Peer selected, set peer. Wait a second. This will not stand. This aggression will not stand. I will say, this is one of the worst parts about setters. Anyone spot the bug? We're using a set peer function. So when we set peer, so you could do this. You could do peer selected equal peers, and this is what we do, dot enet relay. We can't use it here. Let's do it in ready. We don't have it ready. You can do it anywhere. You can do it like this, right? Enet relay. This is what's happening from that drop down. But guess what? This doesn't do anything because we have a setter function on it. We have a set peer function. We're calling set peer. We take new value. We match it. And we do all this fucking shit. And we don't even fuck the fucking set selected fucking peer new value. Can you fucking believe that? Unbelievable. So we've been checking this condition. Is our peer that? This is never going to be true. This is never going to be. So we were always adding 2 players because this was just ignored. It was always adding that other player. Huh? Now we have to go back. Try it this way. And this is all because pain. But we like pain. Because pain gets us through the struggle. I expect this to drop 1 good boy. Hell yes. I am 1 good boy. I expect this to drop a positively good boy. There you go. Setters for the lose. That's going to call it. We fixed the bug. Well, you can even get a 3rd player in here real quick just to be completely happy with ourselves. 5 to P9V. I'm using that code in the corner there. Join. Yeah, we're all good. No hero brines here. We are tired. We did well. One cool feature we have is the host drops. Didn't work though. I'm so tired. I'm going to go to bed and be back at it tomorrow. Probably will not stream tomorrow, but definitely Friday or Saturday, you know. We're going to be here. Universal menu coming soon. See you guys.